in that. And please feel free to comment, share your opinions, your realizations, some questions if you have when the time's right. So I'd like everybody to give a big Haribol to Nayan Prabhu. Haribol! Jai. So I'll hand it over to Nayan, and I think we'll start with Jai Radha Madhav. Hare Krishna.
Kartals? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So as Dev Rishi Prabhu said, we'll be discussing Bhagavad Gita now. So we'll just start with this Jai Radha Madhav bhajan, and then we will begin with the discussion. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodhanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodhanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodhanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodhanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodhanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Varadhari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Varadhari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Varadhari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Gokula Nanda Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Gokula Nanda Shri Radhe. Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda ki, Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we are reading from Bhagavad Gita, and we're reading from chapter 9, entitled The Most Confidential Knowledge, and this is verse 26. It's a very famous verse from the Bhagavad Gita. Yes, so I'll recite the Sanskrit, and then I'll recite the translation, and to save time I'll skip the synonyms, and I'll just read the purport, and then we'll begin the discussion. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktya uparitam asnami prayatatmanaha. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit or water, I will accept it. Purport. For the intelligent person, it is essential to be in Krishna consciousness. engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord in order to achieve a permanent, blissful abode for eternal happiness. The process of achieving such marvelous result is very easy and can be attempted even by the poorest of the poor, without any kind of qualification. The only qualification required in this connection is to be a pure devotee of the Lord. It does not matter what one is or where one is situated. The process is so easy that even a leaf or a little water or fruit can be offered to the Supreme Lord in genuine love, and the Lord will be pleased to accept it. No one, therefore, can be barred from Krishna consciousness because it is so easy and universal. Who is such a fool that he does not want to be Krishna conscious by this simple method and thus attain the highest perfectional life of eternity, bliss and knowledge? Krishna wants only loving service and nothing more. Krishna accepts even a little flower from his pure devotee. He does not want any kind of offering from a non-devotee. He is not in need of anything from anyone, because he is self-sufficient. And yet he accepts the offering of his devotee in an exchange of love and affection. To develop Krishna consciousness is the highest perfection of life. Bhakti is mentioned twice in this verse in order to declare more emphatically that bhakti, or devotional service, is the only means to approach Krishna. No other condition, such as becoming a brahmana, a learned scholar, a very rich man, or a great philosopher, can induce Krishna to accept some offering. Without the basic principle of bhakti, nothing can induce the Lord to agree to accept anything from anyone. Bhakti is never casual. The process is eternal. It is a direct action in service to the absolute whole. Here, Lord Krishna, having established that he is the only enjoyer, the primeval Lord, and the real object of all sacrificial offerings, reveals what types of sacrifices he desires to be offered. If one wishes to engage in devotional service to the Supreme in order to be purified and to reach the goal of life, the transcendental loving service of God, then one should find out what the Lord desires of him. One who loves Krishna will give him whatever he wants, and he avoids offering anything which is undesirable or unasked. Thus, meat, fish, and eggs should not be offered to Krishna. If he desired such things as offerings, he would have said so. Instead, he clearly requests that a leaf, fruit, flowers, and water be given to him, and he says, "Of this offering I will accept it." Therefore, we should understand that he will not accept meat, fish, and eggs. Vegetables, grains, fruits, milk, and water are the proper foods for human beings and are prescribed by Lord Krishna himself. Whatever else we eat cannot be offered to him, since he will not accept it. Thus we cannot be acting on the level of loving devotion if we offer such foods. In the 3rd chapter, verse 13, Sri Krishna explains that only the remains of sacrifice are purified and fit for consumption by those who are seeking advancement in life and release from the clutches of material entanglement. Those who do not make an offering of their food, he says in the same verse, are eating only sin. In other words, their every mouthful is simply deepening their involvement in the complexities of material nature. But preparing nice, simple vegetable dishes, offering them before the picture or deity of the Lord Krishna, and bowing down and praying for him to accept such a humble offering, enable one to advance steadily in life, to purify the body, and to create fine brain tissues which will lead to clear thinking. Above all, the offering should be made with an attitude of love. Krishna has no need of food, since he already possesses everything that be. Yet he will accept the offering of one who desires to please him in that way. The important element in preparation, in serving and in offering is to act with love for Krishna. The impersonalist philosophers who wish to maintain that the absolute truth is without senses cannot comprehend this verse of Bhagavad Gita. To them it is either a metaphor or proof of the mundane character of Krishna. the speaker of Bhagavad Gita. But in actuality, Krishna, the Supreme God, has senses, and it is stated that his senses are interchangeable. In other words, one sense can perform the function of any other. This is what it means to say that Krishna is absolute. Lacking senses, he could hardly be considered full in all opulences. In the 7th chapter, Krishna has explained that he impregnates the living entities into material nature. This is done by looking upon material nature. And so in this instance, Krishna's hearing the devotee's word of love in offering foodstuff is wholly identical with his eating and actually tasting. This point should be emphasized. Because of his absolute position, his hearing is wholly identical with his eating and tasting. Only the devotee who accepts Krishna as he describes himself without interpretation can understand that the supreme absolute truth can eat food and enjoy it. Srila Prabhupada ki. So I'll just recite the verse again. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktya uparitam asnami prayatat manaha. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit or water, I will accept it. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Itam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpa turubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So hands up, who knows what the Bhagavad Gita is? Everyone's familiar with the Bhagavad Gita? That's good. Who knows where the Bhagavad Gita was spoken? Maybe someone can put their hand up and give an answer. Mataji? Very good. And who, maybe a different person, who spoke the Bhagavad Gita? Krishna. And Arjun. Well, Arjun was asking questions and Krishna was speaking. So like that, Bhagavad Gita is a conversation between, let me just adjust this mic, between Krishna and Arjun on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Now you might ask, well, why are they conversing on a battlefield? The battlefield is for fighting, right? Well, why isn't Arjun fighting? Actually, there's a very, maybe we can close the doors, just because. There's a long story as to why we have this battle. There's a battle between the Pandavas and the Kauravas. And actually there's many things that the Kauravas did to the Pandavas. Arjun is one of the 5 Pandavas. Yudhishthir, Arjun, Bhim, Sahadev and Nakul. And so There's actually many times the Kauravas tried to do so many terrible acts against the Pandavas. They tried to kill them, they tried to burn them alive, they tried to disrobe Draupadi in front of assembly of everyone, and so many terrible acts that they tried to commit against the Pandavas. And so this ultimately led to the Pandavas and the Kauravas going out on war. So we're here in Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra is also a Dharma Kshetra. It's a place of pilgrimage. And so we have both these armies assembled. We have the Pandavas and we have the Kauravas. And so this is a big dilemma for Arjun, because he can see on the other side that his family members are there, some people his cousins that he grew up with, his teacher, Bhishma Dev, Dronacharya, Kripacharya, and so many other cousins that he grew up with. And so he's in a big dilemma. And so what happens? Arjun instructs Krishna. He says, take the chariot into the middle of the battlefield. And so actually Krishna took the position of being Arjun's charioteer. And that's quite a nice thought, isn't it? That Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is serving Arjun, his devotee. And so this gives us insight into Krishna's personality, is that actually, even before I mention this, when Arjun is fighting, he's got his bow in hand, he's firing arrows. He doesn't have time to communicate with Krishna. So the way he directs Krishna and says, okay, go this way, go that way, he puts his foot on his shoulder and says, okay, if I tap you on your left shoulder, you go left. If I tap you on your right shoulder, you go right. So this is how Arjun is interacting with Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's saying, okay, you go this way, by putting his foot on him. This is how marvelous this relationship is. But this gives us an insight into Krishna and how he interacts with his devotees. He wants to help his devotees succeed. He wants to help his devotees. He loves his devotees. Therefore he says, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha duskritam dharma samstapanathaya sambhavami yuge yuge. He says, Paritranaya sadhunam. I have come to deliver the devotees. I've come to help the devotees. So like that, Krishna is taking Arjun into the middle of the battlefield, and there Arjun is looking in all directions, and he's beginning to shake and he's beginning to tremble, and he throws his bow down and he has a crisis. He doesn't want to fight. He becomes overwhelmed with passion. He sees all of his family members and he just says, I don't want this. I don't want to fight my family. What good will come of fighting my family? So in that way, he throws his bow down, and actually Krishna doesn't sympathize with Arjun's reasons. Krishna says, you're a warrior, you should fight. That's your duty. You're a Kshatriya. That's the duty of a Kshatriya. And so, like this, Krishna is reminding Arjun of his duty, and Arjun slowly, he accepts Krishna as his teacher. He says, Karpanya dosho pahata swabhava prachami tvam dharma samudha chetaha yat shreyasya nishitam burhitan me shishyashteham shadimam tvam prapanam. He says, I am now a soul surrendered unto you. I am your disciple. Now please instruct me. Whatever you do, Krishna, I will do it. So like this, Arjun is showing us the perfect way of living. He's saying that I submit to you, Krishna. Whatever you tell me to do, I will do this. And so this is actually the process that Krishna gives in the Bhagavad Gita. He says, Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. He says, just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. They're tattvadarshis. Jnaninas tattvadarshina. So Krishna is a tattvadarshi. So Arjun submits to Krishna. He says, I'm a soul surrendered unto you. And like this is how the dialogue begins. This is how the Bhagavad Gita is composed. Krishna is now instructing Arjun on the different principles. He tells Arjun that all these people you're grieving over, you think that you're going to fight them and you're going to kill them, and no good will come from this. But Krishna says, Na jayate mriyate va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavitava na bhuyaha ajo nityo shashvato yam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharira. He says, for the soul there is neither birth nor death. He is not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. So Krishna is explaining one of the main principles of the Bhagavad Gita, that we are not this body, that ultimately this body is a vessel, and that we are more than just the body, we're the soul within. And so you might ask yourself, like, we have the eyes, are we the eyes, or are we seeing through the eyes? So this gives us an indication that the body is just a vessel, that we're something within, and we're experiencing this body. So this is the Bhagavad Gita, that Arjun is asking Krishna the important questions of life, and Krishna is then enlightening Arjun. Arjun is not just kind of floating by in life and taking things as they go or giving up. He's thinking about the important questions in life. What is the goal? Where do I want to go? He's not just floating and doing the mundane like that. And so most people you see nowadays in the world, they just float in life. They just go to school, they get a degree, they get a nice job, and then they go back home and then they try and get a mortgage, a nice house, and then maybe start a family, and then get their kids married. The whole cycle starts again. And it's just a very mundane cycle that they go through. They're just floating, really. And they may come to the temple maybe once a week, but they haven't understood what the goal of life is. The goal of life is to deepen our relationship with Krishna. That we understand we're not of this world, we're of a higher realm, that we're of the spiritual realm. And that we want to return back to Krishna. We don't want to be stuck here just doing the same old mundane things that every Joe on the street is doing. So, like this, Arjun is asking the important questions. And so Krishna is speaking to Arjun for our benefit. You might ask, what is the benefit of reading Gita? Gita is a question and answer book. All the important questions you might have in life, they are answered in this book. And so we can understand from this book, what is the goal of life? Is to develop our relationship with Krishna. And so the Bhagavad Gita, it teaches us different ways, different methods of connecting with Krishna and serving Krishna. It goes through different yoga systems. It goes through dhyana yoga, karma yoga, jnana yoga. And ultimately it explains that the best way of connecting with Krishna is bhakti yoga, devotional service. And so the example is given of, like, the Bhagavad Gita is like a sandwich that, you have, with a sandwich you have two pieces of bread and you have the filling inside. My mom is here. She used to make me Hare Krishna. When I used to go to school, she used to make me peanut butter and jam sandwiches. And like, the bread is okay, but the filling inside is the best part, right? The middle part is the best. So similarly, the Bhagavad Gita is like that. That the middle part is the best. Haribol. The middle part is the best. The middle 6 chapters, that's where you get all the jam, all the peanut butter. So this is where the chapters describe bhakti yoga, the practice of connecting with Krishna through devotional service, through loving devotional service. So, like I said, this is the middle part is the important section of the Bhagavad Gita. It describes bhakti yoga, and within this middle part of the Bhagavad Gita, you find chapter 9, where we find today's verse, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktya uparitam asnami prayatatmanaha. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit or water, I will accept it. Now Krishna here is saying, what's the most important thing? Is that we offer with devotion and love. That anyone who offers these 4 things, I will surely accept it. And he's pleased to take it, he will accept it. And why is he accepting it? It's because of the love. It's because of the devotion. It's not because it's a nice flower or it's a nice cup of water like that. It's because of the love and devotion that we offer with. Krishna is everything. He's fully satisfied. In the Brahma Samhita it says, Lakshmi Sahasra Satasam Brahmasev Yamanam. That in the spiritual world he has thousands of Lakshmi serving him. He doesn't need our service. What can we offer him? But we can offer him love. We can offer him devotion. He's always being served by thousands and thousands of goddesses of fortune. So we can offer him our love. That's that small thing we can offer him. And so you can see on this altar, just under Gauranitai, there's a picture. And there's a picture of the 6 Goswamis, the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. The 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan spread the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they established many temples, they wrote many books, spreading this Krishna consciousness. So one of the Goswamis of Vrindavan is Sanatan Goswami. Now he used to have a deity called Madan Mohan. And he used to actually interact with this deity, Madan Mohan. And one day Madan Mohan was talking to Sanatan Goswami. And he's saying, Sanatan Goswami, well at the time, Sanatan Goswami, there was no temple for the Madan Mohan deity. Actually, Sanatan Goswami used to place the deity on a tree. Funny, right? And so Madan Mohan was talking to Sanatan Goswami and saying, Sanatan, you are bringing all these dry chapatis and it is stale. You don't even give me a little salt. How can I eat this? Krishna is saying, how can I eat this? It's so dry and stale. And Sanatan Goswami is old and withered and he's saying, Krishna, where can I go? I'm just an old man. Whatever I get, I offer to you. So please kindly accept it. I'm old, I can't move. And so like this, Krishna has to accept it. It's because the bhakta is offering. He cannot refuse. Ye ma bhaktya prayachati. The real thing is bhakti. The real thing is devotion. The real thing is our feeling. What have we got that we can offer Krishna? We can't give some nice flashy car or some flashy watch. Krishna is satisfied. He has everything. But the real thing is our feeling. The real thing is our devotion. That please Krishna, kindly take this offering. That I'm so fallen, I'm so rotten, that I have nothing to give you, but please kindly accept it. And this will be accepted. This is the mood. Yes, so this is the mood. And then there's a story from Mahabharata, from before the battle of Kurukshetra. So when it was decided that the war would happen, Duryodhana was sending out messengers to different kings, and he was trying to rally up all his troops and his assistants. And same, Arjun is also doing the same. Yudhishthira is also doing the same. And so Duryodhana and Arjun both knew that Krishna is obviously going to be a big player in this battle. So they both want the support of Krishna. And Duryodhana, they both go to Dwarka. They both travel, Arjun and Duryodhana, they both travel to Dwarka, and they want to appeal to Krishna that please come and join my side, come and fight with me. And so they go to Dwarka, and the 2 princes, they go to Krishna's chambers, and Krishna is sleeping. And so you'll see the difference in personality types. Duryodhana, he goes and sits next to Krishna's head. And Arjun, he bows down and pays obeisances and kneels next to Krishna's feet. So this is already, you can tell the difference in mood between the devotees. Now Duryodhana, he wants to get to business. Arjun is paying obeisances, he's offering his love. And so Krishna, when he wakes up, he first sees Arjun at the end of the bed next to his feet. And then he sees Duryodhana next to him near his head. And so he's inquiring now, why have you both come? And then Duryodhana says, it is well known that you are equally disposed towards both myself and Arjun. I have come to seek your assistance in the war. Indeed, I arrived before Arjun. Thus it is only right that you assist me rather than him. This is the practice of good men, and you, Krishna, are the best of men. So this is Duryodhana. He's being very cunning and very masterful with his words. And so Krishna is looking at Duryodhana smiling. And he's saying, yeah, I accept that you arrived first, but actually I saw Arjun first. So I think, although I'll help both of you, I'm gonna help first the youngest brother. And I'll offer my assistance to Arjun. And then actually he poses a question to both Arjun and Duryodhana. He says, I have an army of 1 million soldiers, the Narayan Sen. And he says, one of you can get this army. This army is equal to no other. They're the strongest of the strong. They're like no other. And one of you can take the army, and one of you can take me. And so, but if you take me, I won't fight. I'll just be assisting the battle, but I won't fight. So and then he asks Arjun, okay, which one do you choose, Arjun? And without hesitating, what did Arjun pick? Krishna, exactly. And so Duryodhana, this is how silly he can't conceal his joy. He thinks he's won. I've got the Narayan Sen, I've got this army. He doesn't know what he's lost. He says, it seems then that I'm left with this army. So with your permission, Keshava, I shall not depart. So he's kind of pretending, I got the bad end of the deal, but I'll leave. So this is kind of Duryodhana's cunning and manipulative mind. And so after Duryodhana left, Krishna is asking Arjun, why did you choose me, knowing that I will not fight in this battle? And so Arjun said, there's no doubt that wherever you are, there will be a victory. And so this is the difference between Arjun and Duryodhana, this devotional spirit. That Arjun is looking at Krishna with love and devotion, and Duryodhana is looking to manipulate. He's looking to get something. And Arjun chose the love chose the Lord owing to his love for him, whereas Duryodhana was choosing the Lord's energies owing to his desire to exploit them. So we can ask ourselves, is this the case for us? Are we going to Krishna because we love him and we're devoted to him, or are we going to Krishna because we want something? Most of the time, I can speak for myself. When I was in college, I would go to Krishna and say, Krishna, I didn't study enough, but please help me with this exam, help me pass. Or I can maybe just guess that maybe people are going through for a job application. They say, Krishna, please help me, please help me, please help me. It's always ask, demand, demand, demand. It's what about Krishna here? This is for you. Krishna, I'm giving this to you. This should be the mood. That when we come to the temple, that we're not praying for some material gain. We're praying that we want to develop a relationship with you, Krishna. That I want to know you. That I want to return back to your kingdom. So like that. So we can pray, my dear Krishna, please kindly accept my offering. I'm the most rotten. As Sanatana Goswami said, I'm the most rotten. I'm the most fallen. But I have nothing else. I have nothing else. So I brought this for you. This will be accepted. So we shouldn't be puffed up when we come to Krishna that, I have everything, I don't need anything. So I'm just come here to kind of pay my respects. We shouldn't be puffed up. Always be careful. We're dealing with Krishna. So I can maybe give you 4, maybe 5 practical takeaways for this lesson. So how do we develop a relationship with Krishna? I can give you the 5 S's. We first have Sangha, which means association. That we come to the temple and we associate with the devotees. Because by associating the devotees who love Krishna, we can then develop also a taste for Krishna. And then the second S, we engage in sadhana, that we chant the Lord's holy names. And then in that way we slowly cleanse our mind, we cleanse our senses, and we develop a taste for Krishna. And then the third S, seva, that we serve Krishna, that we're not always, as I said, take, give, demand, that we give Krishna something, that we come to the temple, we do some cleaning, or there's the volunteers office you may see down this corridor. You can all go after this class and check the hours, and you can volunteer, do some volunteering in the Goshala or some gardening. There's so many things you can do at the temple, and we need all of you. So that's 3 S's. We have Sangha, Sadhana, and Seva, and then maybe we can add, we can also add Sadachar. There's the etiquette, that we adopt the Vaishnava etiquette, that we bow before the Lord, that we offer the food to the Lord. And there's all these different Vaishnava etiquettes you can find in different books about how a devotee kind of deals with different devotees. Rupa Goswami has written a book called Nectar Instruction, which deals with how a devotee can navigate this world, how he can live in such a way that is most favorable to his devotional life. And then there is the final S, which I forget. I'm going to quickly search it up. Okay, yeah, we can do this. There we go, Shastra. So how do we know who Krishna is? We have to read about him. That to develop a relationship with Krishna, we have to know about him. We have to know, okay, Krishna, when he was this age, he killed all these demons. And then he went to Dwarka, and then he did all of this, and then he helped Arjun. We have to know about Krishna. That's how we develop a relationship with someone. And so then when we're chanting his names, when we're in kirtan, that we can meditate on these pastimes, that, wow, Krishna, you're so marvelous that you killed this demon. You killed so many demons. You did all of this. You're just amazing. So we have to read about Krishna, and we read about how we behave with the devotees. So those are the 5 S's that you can take away. There is Sangha, association. Come to the temple. Come regularly, every week, every day if you can. Associate with the devotees. Discuss Krishna conscious topics. Sadhana. Chant the holy names of the Lord. We have the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You can find japa beads outside, and you can chant every day. You can just set a minimum number of rounds and chant this. And then seva, we come to the temple, engage in devotional service, and try and please the Lord that way, and we can cleanse ourselves. And then there's Sadachar, adopting the mood and etiquette of the Vaishnava. How does a Vaishnava move and interact in this world? How does he deal with other devotees? And then Shastra, that we read about the Lord. We read the Bhagavad Gita, this book. We read this discussion between Krishna and Arjun. We get all these questions to all the we get all the answers to all the big questions in life. We read Srimad Bhagavatam, all the different pastimes, all of the different incarnations, like that. So that's a few points that I wanted to make, and maybe we have 15 minutes just for discussion. So if there's any questions, it doesn't have to necessarily be related. You can feel free to put your hands up, and we can have a nice discussion. Hare Krishna. Jai. We've got one more S from Prabhu. He says Sankirtan. So Sankirtan, very, very important one. This is the spreading of the Lord's names, that once you become a devotee, now you help us. Now you come out on the streets and we do book distribution. And then we try and spread this Krishna consciousness to others. Actually, that's where the nectar is at, in the preaching. When we share Krishna consciousness, it becomes alive. It actually deepens in our heart. And Krishna gives deeper realizations. He says, this devotee is sharing my glories, therefore I'll empower him with some more knowledge. So that's the benefit of Sankirtan. So very powerful. We have six S's now. Shraddha. Okay, we're going to add the 7th one, but we're going to stop there. Otherwise, we're going to be here all night. Shraddha, faith. Yeah, that when we read, that we read with some faith. And then over time, we engage in bhajana kriya, sadhu sangha. We associate with the devotees, bhajana kriya. There's the 9 processes of bhakti. So Shraddha is the first one, faith, and then you slowly progress like that. Any other questions or comments? Srinivas Prabhu? I mean, yeah, we can get the mic. Maybe you can say and then I'll repeat again into the mic just to save time. Yeah. 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 Totally agree. That's why one of the S's is sadhana. Two S's is Shastra, that we first read about the Lord, we read about the importance of chanting His holy names, and then that's followed up by sadhana, that we then regularly, every day, without fail, chant the Lord's holy names, and that's how we can return back home to God. Is it on?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I'll repeat it in the mic.
because Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya in his prayers to Lord Chaitanya, 100 prayers, he's glorifying Lord Chaitanya. He's saying that someone may not have good behavior and not be following religious principles properly. If he chants the holy name, then he's glorious. Because by chanting holy names, you achieve perfection.
Yes. So Srinivas Prabhu made the point that someone may be chanting the holy name, but they may not have good behavior, but because they're chanting the holy name, what they're doing is glorious. So they're purified. So the holy name is that powerful that even if we're being so rotten, we're doing so many different things outside, so much sinful activity, that simply by chanting the holy name we can purify ourselves and connect back with Krishna. Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Vishal Prabhu. Maybe. Yeah, there's no difference between Krishna and His holy name. Actually, there's a pastime which I'm reminded of when you say this, that we may have heard of the Kaliya pastime, the big serpent, and Krishna jumps off a tree and starts dancing on his hoods, on Kaliya, this big snake with so many different heads, and he starts dancing on Kaliya's hoods, and that way Kaliya becomes pacified. And so similarly, our tongues are very much like Kaliya, very poisonous and very sharp, and we can come out with very vicious things. But when we chant the holy name, Krishna, in the form of the holy name, he dances on our tongue and he purifies our tongue. Like he pacified Kaliya, he comes and dances on our tongue and he purifies us. So yeah, Krishna and the holy name are non-different. Any other questions, comments, or corrections?
Obviously, with Arjuna and Duryodhana both being around Lord Krishna, and Arjuna obviously knew he was the Supreme Lord, and Duryodhana, who didn't recognize him to be Supreme Lord, I guess. how come the two being around Supreme Lord and have two different understanding of the Lord?
Jai. So from my understanding, this is a very good question. From my understanding that in these pastimes, there's also kind of a yoga maya. Yoga maya is kind of like Yoga maya is actually a form of maya that kind of covers people's intelligence sometimes in Krishna's pastime. So actually Krishna wants to interact with his devotees in a very sweet form, that he wants to have very loving relationships with his devotees. But sometimes if they know that, okay, this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there's like this awe and reverence, that there's too much respect, there's not a sweetness. Like with the gopas, Krishna used to wrestle with them. Krishna used to just chase the gopis and used to do all sorts of things. So there's this yogamaya aspect that kind of covers them a little bit so that there can be more sweetness in a relationship. And so that it's the same concept with the demons or Duryodhan, that Krishna also likes to have a fight. He also likes to teach people. So there's all these different kind of principles laid out. But a simple answer, that there's a yogamaya aspect which covers people covers the personalities partially, so that they don't necessarily know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, like that. So there's different interactions and dealings.
So based on this, so obviously for people like us now who are far away from God, obviously, but we are not around God, like Arjuna or Duryodhana had the opportunity to be around and able to feel the aura of the Supreme Lord. And we are so far away, so we obviously have to connect in a different way by chanting it, like you said. So it's a lot more difficult for us now to possibly connect. So like you said, they come to the temple on a weekly basis or a daily basis, as if it suits you. But it's a lot more difficult now to connect to Lord. He's not like, I mean, we're not as fortunate as Arjuna or Duryodhana.
Yeah, exactly.
So how should one connect to Lord in this day and age when the world is so different?
So therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam eva kevalam kalo nasteva nasteva gatiranyata. He says that the holy name is the only way, the only way, the only way. That simply by in this age of Kali Yuga, there's so many distractions, so many things drawing us away from Krishna, but the holy name is what we've got. That's our trump card. That simply by chanting the holy name, that's the only way. And there needs to be intensity in our practice. That for us to, like you said, we're so far away from Krishna, we're not directly interacting with him. But if there's intensity in our practice, that we're not just kind of dipping our toes, that we're fully submerging ourselves in the practice, that we're coming to the temple every day, that we're reading the books every day, that we're chanting the holy names every day, we're associating with the devotees as much as we can, and we're serving Lord Krishna as much as we can, when there's that intensity, then Krishna will for sure be present in our lives. So there just has to be an intensity. We have to just we have to fully submerge ourselves in Krishna consciousness. If we want to go into the sea, we want to go for a swim, we don't just dip our toes, we dive right in. So like this, we have to dive right deep into Krishna consciousness. So what I suggest is you can step outside and just grab as many books as you can and start just reading as much as you can and coming to the temple as much as you can. Then there has to be this intensity. A very nice question. Hare Krishna. Any other questions? So we'll conclude there. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So we'll now be having Gaur Arti in 5 minutes, and so we'll be chanting these prayers here for the pleasure of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai, and Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda, Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman. So you can kindly stand up, and then we'll slowly begin the kirtan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Very good. Nayan Prabhu, that was good. Well done. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Let me just raise the mandala forward. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda Bhagavana Ki Jai. So we'll be singing the Gaur Arati. And the words to the Gaur Arati is over here at the top. So we do recommend and encourage everybody to joining as much as possible. Please do chant when we are singing. When it's your turn to sing, please clap along. It's a nice way we can serve Krishna, we can please with him. As we know, Nayan mentioned about satisfying Krishna, making a relationship with Krishna. So this is one way we can make advancements quickly, by connecting with Krishna through his murti. So please do join along, and the words are here. And I'll hand it over to Anadi Krishna, who will be singing his Krishna. Hare Krishna. Actually, let me say one more time, Hare Krishna, really loudly. Hare Krishna. Not loud enough. Maybe a little bit more. Come on, there's like lots of us. Hare Krishna. One more time. Hare Krishna. Okay, that's good. Please keep the enthusiasm. Hare.
Prabhuji, we're going to dancing here, yeah? Please.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
If everybody can follow on this written here, the song Gaur Arati, and you can clap your hands and sing together, and you can dance also. Jaya Radha Gokula Nanda Radha Gokula Nanda Radhe. Jaya Radha Gokula Nanda Radha Gokula Nanda Radhe. Gokula Nanda Radhe. Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. Sita Ram Jaya Lakshman Hanuman. Sita Ram Sita Ram Jaya Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paskachyate Satarine. Namaste Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paskachyate चंदे आरती को शोभा जय चंदे आरती को शोभा